Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? Wanted to come in and do this quick little Facebook Live. As you know, we are going into a full moon tomorrow. And what happens when we have a full moon is that a lot of intense emotions come up, and we can find that we can be surrounded. You know, we all hear that saying, like to stay away from negative people. Yet there are certain situations. Hey Noni, how are you, love? There are certain situations where people aren't being negative. Sometimes we can just get caught up in our own drama just through different energy shifts that occur. I don't sleep. I feel you on that, love. Definitely feel you on those ones. So I wanted to come in and share. Hey Jennifer, how are you? I wanted to come in and share my number one tip. As they always say, don't get caught up in other people's dramas, but sometimes it can't be avoided. We don't know all the time when someone's going to unleash their drama on you. Hey Anne, how are you, love? And I think it's always really important, especially when you're going through so much emotional things on your own level, to be able to find a way to constructively reframe and change the situation so that you're not just getting consumed by drama. Hi Rosalie, how are you? To be able to shift the energy of that and bring things back into balance, and also too so that you just don't feel like your energetic levels are just getting so depleted when you are around someone that is completely consumed by drama. I'd love for any of you to just let me know if you've ever had those moments. Hey Adam, hey Safa, if you've ever had those moments where you've gone around to see a friend, or they've called in to see you, and within a couple of minutes the whole conversation is just so consumed by them sharing about all of their drama. Hey Sarah, how are you? I'd just love to hear if you've ever had those moments and you just sort of think, I just don't know how to get myself out of this situation, but I also don't have the energy to sit around and listen to 20 minutes, half an hour of someone just unleashing all their drama on me. Because I think it's really simple and easy to say, hey, don't be around it, but there are going to be moments that you are around it, and I think it's so important to have certain little ways in which that you can navigate through those times in a way that you don't either embarrass someone, we don't hurt them, because you know what, everyone is going through their own personal shifts, that everyone is at completely different levels. Sometimes we need to just be able to vent. Absolutely. Hey Sarah, how are you, love? Hey Acadia, Robert. Oh wow. Oh, sorry, hang on. I just accidentally hit a button. Anne's written, absolutely had those all about them moments, definitely. And some people don't mean to get so caught up and so consumed in their own self, but we are a race that is very consumed by self. And it's really important to be able to know how to be able to move through these times. Oh, camera. In a way where we feel that we can help some people on certain levels. Sorry, I was just sharing things, and so I sort of got a bit distracted. So what I'm trying to say is that we're always going to have moments where we come across situations where we are having the capacity to get caught up into other people's drama, yet feeling really depleted in ourselves, and you just cannot there's no energy reserves to be able to keep giving to everyone, especially when it's coming from left and field, because as I said, we're all going through so many different shifts. So we have children that are going through shifts, our partners are going through shifts, our friends are, our family. And if you're the person that's the go-to person for everyone, you can find that there can be certain days where you can have 3, 4, 5 people all needing to share their things that are going on in them, in their world, because they trust you, they love you, they know that you're going to guide them and support them and nurture them. But notice how the conversation all just centers around themselves. Ain't that the truth? Definitely. And they forget that you yourself may be going through something, because you're the strong, gorgeous person that is always there for them. So I'm going to share with you my number one thing that I do in this situation. It is something I have done for many, many years. And sometimes you do things all the time and you forget how much it can really radically impact and change the situation and bring things back into balance again. And it sort of came up with today's card as well. So the number one thing that I like to do when I find that someone is getting into a space where they're just unleashing all of their dramas, and yet you don't have the capacity, yet you still want to be there to support them and love them and let them know that you want to be there for them, but you also don't want to listen to the crap. The number one thing that I do, no cause, you are strong and can deal with it, apparently, definitely. Thank you. But the number one thing that I love to do is right in the middle of a conversation, and this is a really great indicator, if you find that you move into your own headspace and you're thinking to yourself, please, will you shut up? Please, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I wish you'd go away. If you've moved into that space, that is a really great intuitive cue where you are already at your emotional roof, at your emotional level, where you can't take on board any more of this stuff. So the greatest ways to be able to reframe and rechange the whole energy and the vibration and everything is to simply turn around and ask them, tell me one good thing about your life. It's simple. It's so simple, but it's so effective. Is that by asking that person, tell me one good thing that's going on in your life, immediately it creates a pattern interrupt. Now, for people that may not understand what that means, is that when people start talking about their dramas, it just becomes circular. They get caught up in the emotions. All of these triggers are going off. They're activating the anger, the frustration, the stress, the anxiety, whatever they're feeling, and they just really engage in it, and it just becomes this real circular, hypersensitive emotional state. And they don't have the capacity to hear anything or see anything or even notice that you're there half of the time, because all they're needing to do is to be able to express that. They don't know how to do it in a constructive way, so they're unleashing it basically on you. But the moment that you actually say to them, tell me one good thing that is going on in your life, immediately you interrupt their brain communication. Hey Tracy, how are you, gorgeous? Hey Brendan, hey Jasmine. Yes, it's like the waves pounding on the beach, but when they talk. So this is this awesome moment where we interrupt their train of thought, because they themselves, the person that is really stressed, is what happens is once we activate those stresses within us, everything in their life will start to be a stressor. It's amazing how you can start off with one stress, and before you know it, you've catapulted that situation into everything is stressing you. And they just build this momentum and they don't know how to get off that freight train of stress. And so the moment that you actually interrupt that line of communication within their mind and ask them, tell me one good thing that is going on in your world, I tell you, they sit there and their brain is fried for a split second, because they haven't even considered that question. And the reason I brought this up today was because not only have we got the full moon, everyone is through intense emotion, but it brings up the element of gratitude. We talk about gratitude all the time, but we don't always apply it. And this is this golden moment where we can bring gratitude into a situation that is sinking fast and completely rechange the whole energy frequency and bring things back up to a whole new level. The moment that you've asked that person that question, their brain has to go searching and looking for the answer. Now, I just did this with my husband a moment ago because he's had a pretty crappy day, and I said to him, baby, hun, love ya. Tell me one good thing about your day today. And he goes, I made it home. And I said to him, well, that could be a good thing, isn't it? And it's hard not for both parties to either one, have a giggle and change that energy frequency. But when you're with someone that is really consumed, they're really emotional, they're caught up in their own emotional triggers and stresses and needing to vent and going on this rampage, what it does is it makes them become present. When you're getting caught up in the stresses and the bullshit, that shit happened yesterday. So you're living already in the past. You're constantly activating something that already irritates you, hurts you, is painful, and you're just reliving it on a day-to-day, minute-by-minute basis, the moment that you are constantly talking about it all the time. I'm so pleased this is resonating with, I love all the hearts, thank you. Let me know if this is resonating with you. And what it does is it makes that person's brain go, zoop. What did you say? And they'll go, why did you ask me that question? They'll actually be flabbergasted because they are so used to being on that circular mouse on the wheel going around and round in circles, just needing to unleash their fury. The moment you ask that question, their mind actually has to come to a screaming halt. That is that moment that you actually interrupt all of those emotional triggers. You interrupt their mind so they stop thinking, because their mind goes like, what the fuck? What did you just ask me? Like, here I am, I'm going on my tangent and you've asked me something completely freaking stupid. Didn't you just hear me tell you how stressful my life is? So their brain goes, we've got a question. And the mind is like a little puppy. When you throw the ball to a puppy, it chases it. Well, the brain does the same. You ask it a question, it's going to go and seek the answer. That person must stop and think, what is one good thing in their life? It brings it back to being present. It reminds them that not all of your life is shit. This small little fragment that's created stress is unresolved, and that it's because it's unresolved is creating stress and more tension. Hey Laura, how are you, love? This is that moment where they start to be brought back to the awareness of being present and activating that gratitude aspect. Never forget the power of how potent being grateful for even just the smallest thing is, that can radically change your whole energetic frequency, completely change your mindset, completely shift and elevate your energy levels back up to feeling joy, happiness, grateful, present. Now, this is something I have done for many of years, and as I said, sometimes you don't realize how powerful something is because you do it all the time, but because it was something I implemented, had a bit of a giggle, I was like, hey man, there is everyone that is going through so much emotional baggage at the moment, and when you're not vibing so high and you're the go-to person that everyone goes to for love, support, nurturing and guidance, you need to be able to have something that you can help them, but also continue to help yourself. Because by asking that question of saying to them, share with me one good thing, is that moment you don't need to be that support person for them. You don't need to be able to give them any more energy because you don't have the capacity to do this. This is that way that you can care and love for them, but you're getting them to seek to find the answer within themselves. Anyone that has been following knows that I'm the intuition teacher. I teach people about intuition and psychic, and this is completely attuned with that because we seek outside of ourselves for the answers 9 times out of the 10. Yet, my biggest philosophy has always been all of the answers you ever need are within you. But if you don't activate that within yourself, you're always looking externally for that, and someone cannot give that to you. But so you can trigger that within them to seek within themselves to find that joy, to find that happiness, to remember that even though there is a small portion of your world that's a little bit shit at this world, there is also some great things that are going on in your world. But if you only ever focus on the crap, that's all you're going to see, and then you're just going to blow that out of proportion because you need to express those emotions. Express them in a constructive way with the person that has created that disharmony or that frustration or stress with you. But remember that gratitude is an incredibly powerful way to help you move through those stresses, to be reminded that there is amazing things in your world. So I'd love to hear people be able to use this one very, very simple technique that I've used for many years and come back and share with me what were some of the results that you got. How good did it feel to be able to give to people, but not at the expense of your own energy levels and getting dragged into other people's dramas? It is the most soul destroying thing, is to just constantly be dragged into other people's dramas. Yet life goes on and people need to be able to share, and they need to be able to come to someone. But we also need beautiful ways in which we can turn the tables around and remind those people that there is still beauty in their world, even though there's drama, and we can't avoid drama. It's so easy to sit there and go, just don't be around negative people. But sometimes it's not about being around negative people. This is about sometimes, for a split second in someone's world, they've just got a bit caught up in a stress, but they don't have the capacity to see through it. And you are also going through your own stuff, and you don't have the energy to give to them or the love to give to them, but you still want to be able to help and support them, but not at the expense of your own self. This is a gorgeous way that you can help them become empowered. You can help your own self by learning to say, no, I don't need to listen to this drama. I need to take care of me. So how can I make sure that I help my girlfriend or my friend or my family members, help them to feel empowered through this situation, and say yes to myself at the same time? You have validated what is a continuance of my day in, day out. Oh, I'm so pleased that I've been able to help you with that, Arcadia. So I would love to hear how this helps you. If that has always been something that has been ruminating through your day, I would love to be able to hear how you use this technique and what kind of amazing benefits that helps you and also helps the other person. Hey, Amy Marie, how are you? Beautiful. So yeah, this was just a really simple tip that I said that is incredibly powerful, incredibly effective, and activates the gratitude to be reminded that we are powerful within our own self. That yes, stresses come up, we can't avoid them. The amount of times I hear people say, stay away from negative people. Yes, that is so true. There are some people that are just drama queens and everything is a drama. This is a situation, that can be used, this little simple question can be used in any given situation to interrupt those stresses, to interrupt that emotional triggers that keeps activating even more pain, hurt, and suffering, and invoke a beautiful new way to bring balance and harmony back to a situation that reminds that person that there is still beauty that exists within their world. Everything in their world is not falling apart. There's just this little small part that needs to be taken care of, but there is a whole world of beauty. But wherever we put our focus becomes our attention, and some people can, when they're in a heightened level of stress, can get stuck in only seeing the stressful situation. And if you look at a situation for too long, this is my true belief, and I giggle because not out of disrespect, but it's more like, it's so true, is that like if you look at a situation that is stressful, you will find a way to take that one stressful situation and break it down into a million pieces until now you have 20 or 30 little stressful moments that each of them are just vying to connect into pain, hurt, suffering, and before you know it, you've got someone in your world that's sort of like visiting Crazy Town and wants to invite you there, and you don't want to go there. So this is a beautiful way to be able to help get that person to shift outside of that mindset, shift out of that energy, bring them back to balance, take a break from all of those stresses and get off that wheel of craziness, and without it draining and depleting your energy levels. And what happens is the moment that you ask them that, is that moment that you continue on the conversation. Once you've asked them to share with me one good thing that happened in your day, and just wait patiently for them to answer. The moment that they answer back to you is that moment where you continue on that conversation. Now, say for example, like with my husband, he said, when I asked him this question, he said he got home, and I said to him, well, aren't you lucky that you got home and you didn't end up somewhere else? And then we just sort of continued on the conversation. Now, when someone asks you like that, and they may share something with you, go, well, how good did it feel to have that one moment that made you feel good? How did you feel, after you felt good? What was the next thing that you did? And you continue on that conversation so that you break that neural circuit of the stresses, you redirect it into a space of gratitude, and that is the direction that you keep this conversation going. And if you find they happen to slip back to them, redirect them back to that space of gratitude, because they will share with you things that they are grateful for, and those are your trigger points to activate the moment that they start slipping back. So let's say, for example, they said to me, I'm grateful that I'm grateful that today my kids were awesome. And you are like, cool, no worries. If they happen to go back to the stress that, you say to them, so what were some of the things that your kids did that was really good? Oh, they did this and this and that. Cool. Like, how good is it, when the kids are all on track and there's no fighting and bitching? Oh, yeah, man, I love it when that happens. Notice how you're not giving them the opportunity to slip back. And even if they do, you can just reactivate that gratitude and bring it back and continue forward. This is one of the most valuable tips that I've done over the many years with, friends, family, girlfriends, and now I find that certain people in my world now use this exact same technique when they're having people like try to drag them or try to drag them into their dramas as a way to reactivate and refocus and bring a different level of energy to it. So I hope that this is all something that everyone can take away, practice immediately, and come back and definitely share with me what were some of the results that you got by saying that one simple question whenever someone tries to drag you into your drama, which is, share with me one good thing that happened to you today. That's all you have to ask them, and watch the shift happen immediately for both yourself and for the other person. So much love to you all. Take care. And be good, be kind. Remember that tomorrow is the full moon. So it's a beautiful time of cleansing, rituals, and totally embodying the element of self-care mode. So take care, be good, and always remember the power of the magic of your intuitive soul self. It will always guide you every single step of the way. So take care, guys.